Good morning and welcome back to Doing It Live with Doomlink. We are here in The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. This is the second part, and we have just been welcomed back to the kingdom as Zelda. Link has been sealed away, because he is not to be played in this game. We are not going to be interacting as Link, we will be Zelda in this game. Similar to, presumably, Wand of Gamelon, and not Faces of Evil. I'm going based on Mad Duck Wizard's information here. In the chat, he said Wand of Gamelon. I don't remember which of the two is which. I really don't particularly care. That is a terrible game series. But you could also say that it is reminiscent of Zelda's Adventure on the CDI as well. A truly heinous video game, but as I recall, even 10 years ago, 15 years ago, perhaps even 20 years ago in some cases, that game was expensive then. I wouldn't want to see the cost of it now. I think I would balk and honestly feel a little bit sick if I saw how expensive Zelda's Adventure would be these days. But yeah, I suppose what I'm leading into in commenting on that is the fact that I'm never going to own that fucking game. Yeah, I was considering whether or not to swear when I'm doing It Live with Doomlink, but let's just swear until I monetize it. Hey, let's do it that way. I doubt I'll ever monetize it. I don't suspect it will ever be successful enough to do that, but if that does happen, then I will alter things accordingly. Alright, so here we are in what I presume to be Hyrule Castle Town. What I'm really disappointed with is the fact that I'm getting a little bit of slowdown on my console. Just to reiterate something that I did mention in the previous recording, I am using the original Nintendo Switch, it's not the OLED version. I got this in 2018, so it is very much the original version, and it seems to be struggling a little bit with running the game. So there are probably two solutions that I can seek out for this. Solution number one is to just restart the whole system. I'm not going to do that now because I'm in the middle of recording, but if I were to restart it, maybe that would be better, because I do often leave it in standby mode. That might not be good for the performance of the console. I may, however, be applying computer-based logic to that, because if you were to do that with a computer, it starts to accumulate temporary files that bog down the system. But that may not happen with a Nintendo Switch, so that logic, as I say, may be completely incompatible with this scenario. And then the second solution would be to see if it's been inundated with dust, and if it needs to be cleared or something. Maybe it's just not clearing the dust effectively. Oh, AJ in the chat insists that the game just runs like this, which is pretty pathetic. I mean, the entire point of this graphical style with Nintendo games is that it looks good, but it is very light on the systems that run it. But apparently no, we've got poor performance now. Performance in video games is just, you don't need good performance. After all, we did have catastrophic game releases like Cyberpunk, and that didn't really curtail the interest level, did it? But anyway. Yeah, emulation might be a last resort solution. I don't know how this game emulates now. Of course, as time goes on, emulation gets better and better, but I'm really not impressed to see on its home hardware this kind of performance. If anything, that might be a reason to get the Switch 2, but that's not really acceptable, is it? Imagine owning the system that the game came out on, and then you say to yourself, well, maybe I'll go and get the successor to this system so that I can run the older games better. That just doesn't make sense. That's logically ridiculous. But anyway, I'm not going to sit here and be too indignant. I'm just going to accept the way this game runs, which, by the way, is really bad from what I can tell. Maybe there are slight improvements that can be made based on what I mentioned before, but I suspect it's just going to run like this. Trapped by a no-gooder for a whole week. If anyone could find a way out of that, it's you. Do I have a history of this or something? I mean, of course, within the series I have a history of this, but within this world, do I have a history of this? I don't know. Maybe he's breaking the fourth wall a little bit. I told everyone they didn't need to worry. Oh, I'm getting so good at this whole flattery thing. You're talking out loud, my friend. A little more discretion might be in order. I am so happy you're back. We were starting to think we'd never see you again. We searched for you every single day, Princess Zelda. Okay, I suspect you're referring to the guards, and you were not part of a search party. This is not a case of missing person, this is a case of trapped by Ganon, so a regular search party would be pretty inappropriate. There's nothing to fear if you train regularly. I tell myself that, so I stay motivated. We've got a very traditional style. What the hell? I don't precisely know what to think about. This is unbelievable. So everything else is really modernized with this brand new art style, and then they've shoehorned a very pixel art style stairwell. This is... She's too tall to fit in there. She would have to get on her hands and knees to get down there. Look at this. I'm sorry, I find that ridiculous. I shouldn't take it too seriously, but wow, that is probably the best example of this art style completely falling flat on its face. But anyway. Ah, Princess Zelda! Me, slack off? Never. Are you not concerned that I've returned? Maybe he's already been apprised of this situation. Never. I'm just hanging out in my favorite break area. Well, we can swim in the game. That's good to know. In some Zelda games, Link just drowns immediately. According to Nintendo, this game is set a couple of decades before the very first Zelda game, which, of course, nobody should trust. Nobody should trust for even a moment that that makes any sense, or that that can be corroborated, okay? Because I don't think Nintendo gives a damn about aligning the different games within a timeline. Apparently the split timeline theory is now official. I remember the split timeline theory first being posited back in whenever it was, 2009 or so, and thinking, this is freaking convincing. But guess what? That's exactly what Nintendo did. They sat down, looked at it and went, this is convincing. Okay, let's go with this. I mean, they definitely did not come out with the games with the intention of that timeline being actual and accurate and true. In terms of this game, well, we just spoke to a guy who suggested that I have already been taken away in the past. So, I mean, unless the original Legend of Zelda was... unless it was indicated at that time that these events had occurred already in the past, but I very much doubt that. Maybe I need to brush up on my details a little bit more, but I don't trust that for 1 second. I really do not trust that. We've got these little bird statues, which is nice. But maybe or maybe not. Maybe we can't interact with them in the way that we could in the past. I don't know if I'll commit to interacting with everyone here, but I think that's how I would like to play it. You know, just do it in the way that you would in your first time playthrough of a Zelda game. It may not be the most engaging thing for the audience, but hey, guess what? I'm playing this for myself, primarily given that it's my first time playing this game, so... it's so wonderful to see you safely home again. Lady Impa has been beside herself with worry ever since you were kidnapped, so Impa's in the game too. She's usually in the castle around this time. Please go let her know you're back for her sake. I've never liked Impa's name, to be clear. It's literally Imp with an A on the end. I just have visions of imps when I see that name written and say it aloud. One of those creepy rifts opened up in the middle of town. Is it really in the middle of town? Maybe it was, and I'm just extremely unobservant. It's so dark and scary looking. What if you fall in? What could happen? Oh yeah, it is over here. It's right over here. Very good, Doomlink. Well, I hope that whoever was in this house was able to get out safely. Let's head on in. You've got a remarkably large nose. A lot of people are just completely flabbergasted to see me. My goodness, Princess Zelda, you've returned to us. What a relief. I have absolutely no qualms about you strolling into my home uninvited to essentially stand in front of me. But I'm relieved that you're back. We'd been searching for you from sunrise to sunset every day. It was very difficult, however, because we've only got black dots for eyes. But it seems you made it back regardless. What's going on with you? Oh, same reaction. I am indeed back. I'm so relieved. I feel I might keel over. Okay. Well, such is the extent of your surprise that you may actually black out. Which is fair. Well, this is a rather dolled up lady. These people are so happy to see the person who collects their tax come home safe and sound, yes indeed. Ever since you were kidnapped a week ago, I've been incapable of getting even a wink of sleep. What do you mean, serf? Get back to work. But now that you're back, I bet I'll be sleeping like a baby tonight. Welcome back, princess. Yeah, thank you. Now wait on me hand and foot. Oh yeah, play with me, play with me. That was the prior request also. We're also happy to have you back, princess. Everyone was worried you'd been stolen away. I suspect that every single person I talk to will say largely the same thing, so I'm not going to talk to everyone. I think I have satisfied my curiosity on that front. So let's take ourselves into the castle and speak with a man whose name I can only presume is Daphnis Nohansen Hyrule, the King of Hyrule. His name has sort of changed a little bit over time, I feel. But that was his name in Wind Waker. I don't know why I remember that so distinctly. Oh, it's Impa. Ah, sweet child, such a relief to see you safe. Welcome home, princess. I don't understand. There was a reason why Impa was so ancient in Breath of the Wild. It's because it was 100 years in the future. Why is Impa so old here? I don't understand. I think it's because they're trying to create familiarity for the people who had played Breath of the Wild, or perhaps Breath of the Wild is the most recent but still distant game for some people playing this, but really, it made sense there. I just don't really see how it makes sense here. Ah, sweet child, such a relief to see you safe. Welcome home, princess. I must say, your loyal Impa felt so flustered that I could not save you myself. On top of your kidnapping, rifts have been appearing all over. It's a source of much fear. I am certain your return will be a great comfort to the people during these troubling times. You've always been quite spirited, though I didn't expect you to make it back on your own. Well, I'm so overcome with emotion that I've spoken out of turn. Well, you needn't be so reserved around me. Presumably we have a good relationship. I mean, in Ocarina of Time we did, but maybe you're an ancient predecessor of that Impa. I don't know how it works anymore. Off you go now. The king awaits you. I mean, how hard is it to accept that every single game is its own thing? How hard is that? But no, everyone has to create these timelines. Again, I wouldn't want to rubbish the work of the person who came up with the split timeline theory. That was brilliant stuff. That was amazing at the time, and remains brilliant. But seriously, they did not intend for the games to be linked, except for the obvious ones like Wind Waker and Phantom Hourglass, etc. Right, so the king in Breath of the Wild was Rome Bosphorama's Hyrule, if you recall correctly. Well, I also hope you recall correctly, because I've just said it out loud and hopefully haven't made myself into an arse. But anyway, or an ass, I suppose would be the word. In the meantime, I'll draw a nice hot bath for you to enjoy when you're ready. I'm going the non-obvious way first. I'm assuming I can open this door. Or potentially it will be locked. Oh, whether it's locked or not, I couldn't say. Doesn't let me in. Yeah, I was about to say, this looks like my bedroom. This is rather feminine. I've got a cat, apparently. And, unsurprisingly, it couldn't be less interested in the fact that I've returned after... How long has it been? I don't know how long it's been. It was mentioned. I think it was several months. Something like that. You couldn't possibly have been pacing like this the entire time. I refuse to believe it. Wouldn't you people be informed first? There are guards, okay. Guards have returned to the city. And it didn't occur to them to go and inform the king. Very good. Princess, I'm so relieved you're back. What if these guys had come up with a new initiative to search for me in the time that I was walking around speaking to the townsfolk? And then they would have to call the people back, call them back. Bloody hell, this is inefficient. This is not how kingdoms and governments work. What an absolute joy to see you safe and well. Despite that joy, I feel ashamed that we were unable to find you. On behalf of Minister Left and me, please accept our apologies, Princess. Get it? The left and right hand of the king? Very, very clever start. I appreciate your sentiments, but let's not dull this joyous moment with our regrets. Word travels slowly in Hyrule Castle, it really does. Zelda, my dear daughter, which is exactly how a father addresses her daughter, his daughter, but admittedly they are king and princess, so I suppose it's never going to be normal, is it? You did well to return to us. Come closer so I may look upon you, because I only have a very short distance, viewing distance, given these light brown dots that I call eyes. I am so relieved you are healthy and whole and well. I will make no mention of the fact that I am extremely elderly and you are presumably in your late teens. So, tell us, Zelda, what happened to you? A swordsman in green? Was he in green? I guess he had the blue outer robe, but then was wearing green underneath. Yes, he was, wasn't he? Yeah, I don't like the blue. I don't want to see any blue in association with Link. For those who saw the previous video, I am not in any way comfortable with that. But it is a case of me being a little bit precious. A swordsman in green saved you from a fell beast? Quite the tale. I've only ever heard swordsmen in blue. And without hats. But after defeating the monster, the swordsman was taken by a rift. It's him we have to thank for saving your life. So he was pulled away into a rift. Another one stolen away. Did you like my lady voice? Indeed, I hope he is safe. Stolen away. A tidy phrase for a terrible fate, being taken by a rift. Well, we don't really know what happens to them, so stolen away is probably the most acceptable and tentative phrase to use. You're not going to say, you know, eviscerated or expunged. You're just going to say, yeah, stolen away. It's a little bit euphemistic, but again, we don't actually know what happens to them. So we're not going to assume the worst. That would be not in any way acceptable. That would cause disquiet among the citizens. An unsettling phenomenon, says the King of Hyrule. Our fair Hyrule has continually been plagued with these rifts and disappearances. As you know, rifts have been appearing for a long time, claiming our young ones. Only our young ones? Those old bastards like me, they can just stay gone. They are a blight on our finances. The state is creaking under the weight of their I guess, heavy reliance. Anyway, indeed, so many children have been stolen away. I found that funny. He only mentioned the young, and he himself is not young at all. We've remained vigilant. But despite our best efforts, we've never been able to prevent the rifts from appearing. Ultimately, those who've experienced losses have been left to contend with their grief. Now, I've been receiving reports about Hyrule disappearing from every... Oh, it's probably not the phrasing that I wanted. Now, I've been receiving reports about people disappearing from every corner of Hyrule. And it isn't just children anymore. Adults are disappearing too. What could be causing such an uptick? Maybe the swallowing of Link empowered the rift? I don't know. For now, we should also work on finding the swordsman in the green tunic, and with haste. Your Majesty! Wailed the guard. What is it, soldier? Urgent news! The rifts! They're causing serious trouble! Oh no. Please, soldier, what are the details? Oh, of course, Your Majesty. I don't know why I've just randomly decided to do a voice for that one character. I'm not going to do voices, okay? It's because then I would have to keep track of them over the recordings, and that's no fun. Yeah, we may struggle to convince our elderly to enter the rifts. Firstly, we received word... I'm not doing the voice anymore. We received word that someone from from Suthorn village was swallowed up by a rift. I guess that's where we're going first. Again, sounds pretty linear, if so. I like it. Then we also received news of dark monsters attacking people in Hyrule Field. That is troubling news indeed. Thank you for your report, soldier. I like how they didn't even put soldier above his text bubble. He literally is unnamed Even his occupation or role is not worth mentioning. He is quite literally a non-person. Tell the rest of your battalion to prepare for departure immediately. Yes, Your Majesty. General, Minister. Sire. Minister left. Continue your investigations into the rift phenomenon. I'm expecting you to find a way to save any and all who have vanished into the rifts. You can count on me, sire. It's not like I'm doing anything else. And also, this is extremely important, so thank you for presumably telling me to do the same thing I've been doing up until now. General Wright, I leave the monsters to you. Prepare your troops and head into battle. On my honor, sire. We will do battle with things. The crisis must be dealt with. Continue looking into the rifts and locate those who've been lost. And Zelda, I just got you back, but you can go and head off somewhere now. Go off and do things. I don't know if that's how it plays out. Anyway, oh no, the king, no. The first old person to be sacrificed. And then they go straight in there after him. I guess I won't comment on their judgment. That was, they had a sort of desire to sacrifice themselves for their king. That's not something to be dismissive of. It is admirable. Oh. Okay, so I'm assuming he's now been taken over by the rift and he's going to use his authority as the king to make some terrible order of the guards. Guards, arrest Zelda! Yeah, I had a feeling. Lock her up immediately. Lock up the princess? Now this makes more sense. I can imagine it's going to be sort of similar to the beginning of A Link to the Past, except Zelda is going to get herself out of the jail cell, and we're going to go on an adventure as Zelda. My daughter created the rift you see behind me. Okay, the plot thickens very suddenly and abruptly. We cannot leave such horrible power unchecked. Disturbing though it may be, General Wright and Minister Left bore witness as well. Well, don't just stand there, lock her up at once. Yes, Your Majesty. It's a little bit comical with his art style. As I say, it's difficult to relate to the characters when they look like this, but that's just me. Whatever. I suppose it was the same with the older games as well. I'm just being a little bit unfair with that comment. Why did we lock up the princess? What could the king be thinking? You haven't heard? Apparently she's the one who created the rift in the throne room. What? There's no way. So then, she might also be responsible for all the other rifts? Do these people know about the Triforce of Wisdom? Like, are they familiar with the fact she's got magic powers? Because I suppose they would assume, oh, yeah, if she has magic powers, I can imagine she'd create the rift. Or maybe they don't think she's magical, and then therefore they're really surprised that she'd be creating these magical phenomena around the kingdom? I don't know. So then, she might also be responsible for all the other rifts? That makes sense to me. Yeah, they'll just keep popping up so long as she's around. Oh, okay. So we've gone quite quickly, logically, from lock her up to execute her. This is very good. I think that's a great way for this game to go. There's even word the king plans on putting her to death to save the kingdom. Very good. I just can't believe the princess would be the cause of these things. Well, as I say, the plot thickens. So we do have the ability to jump, so presumably we can go... Oh no, we have to go... Oh, very good. I'll go from the... Oh, never mind. Now that I think about it, if I went from the table to there, I don't think that would work either, because the jump would be too great. So I suppose we've made an attempt to get out, and now Zelda is all downtrodden. Actually, I could relate to her there. She looked quite... What's the word? Pitiable, I guess would be the word. Oh, here we go. This is our follower. This is like our fairy equivalent, or our Midna equivalent, or whatever you want to say. There's so many examples, I really shouldn't start trying to list them. Let's just say fairy, for argument's sake. Can you see me? My name's Tri. That blue monster, he caught me too. I've been watching you since then. I followed you here, to this castle. Oh yeah, I should ask, what's your name? Zelda. Got it. Zelda, your life is in danger if you stay here. The person who put you here is the king, right? He told someone to hurry and prepare for your execution. Once I heard that, I figured I'd better tell you. The king and the other two got pulled into that rift. The three that came out seemed weird. Yeah, we saw those dots that are apparently meant to be eyes. We saw them turn red, so that's fairly illustrative on its own. Oh, you noticed they seemed weird too. You think they're imposters? What an odd word. Anyway, it's too dangerous for you to stay here. I do feel bad for her. Like, I think it's those eyebrows. She looks very downtrodden. I think if we could save the people who've been taken into rifts, we could reveal the truth. But none of those people will be able to get out on their own. We have to save them together, Zelda. But first, let's save you. Let's get you out of here. Are you going to make arrangements to achieve this, or am I meant to do this on my own? You can't get through the bars? With respect, if I could get through them, I wouldn't be here right now. My head is literally wider than the bars. Not really something I can fix. Huh, that's interesting. I'm not an insect. I'm not like, you know, those things that can flatten themselves quite incredibly and get under things. Let me help. Oh, here we go. We've been given our magic staff, and this is going to feature very prominently in the game. In fact, it is in the logo of the game, in much the same way that, say, the baton, or the takt, I think. No, takt. I think they did call it the takt, which is not a correct use of the word takt in the Japanese version, but anyway, I'm digressing immensely. You borrowed, that's the key word, borrowed the tri-rod. It's like when you borrowed the telescope from Arrel in Wind Waker, just to make another Wind Waker reference. It's a mysterious rod, the same color as Tri. It's warm to the touch. I can create echoes of things in this world. I'm not sure what will be most useful to you, but I'm sure this will come in handy. Go up to something that's shimmering, then press ZR. There you go. So that's fairly clear. If there is something we can interact with using this staff, it will shimmer. Okay? You learned the table echo. Okay, so once we've used that staff, it seems we can then recreate it in whatever way we want. So you can imagine what a table would be used for at this point. I can think of two things off the top of my head. The first would be as a platform to jump off. Another thing would be as a weight. I don't think we would use it as a shield, but potentially it could be used in that way as well. You know, what they're relying on here is the ingenuity and creativity of the player in order to proceed. You learned the table echo, to speak English correctly. Good job. That's how you learn things. Anything you've learned can be echoed with Y. Okay. Y echo. And presumably we can equip our echoes? Because I suspect we'll have a lot of things that we can learn, so I don't know how we switch between different things at this stage, but we'll just go with Y. Okay. So we've conjured it and placed it there. Look at that. Perfect job. What you created is called an echo. Press ZR when you're near an echo to erase it. If you want to erase all of your echoes, hold ZR. Okay. And I think the same information is more or less being rephrased here. Echo with Y. Depends on how much of Tri's power is available. I don't know if this recharges automatically, if we need to accumulate it or replenish it. Echoes can be erased using ZR to erase all echoes. Yes, same information. Very good. Can we reposition this? Potentially not. Well, I don't think we really want to place it here, so what we'll do is erase with ZR and conjure with Y. So this apparently gives us the elevation that we need, and then I assume we can conjure another one. Yep. So Tri's power doesn't seem to be something we can see right now. I think just because we're in sort of a tutorial stage where it would be prohibitive for us to have a limit to the number of these we can cast, especially for kids, you know, who are a bit confused. So, now we can escape. Let's go. Very good. Left or right? That is the question. Okay, definitely not that way. I really should have known that already. We did see that in the opening scene. Ah, Try's head has triangles. I see. I was expecting it to be part of the heads-up display. Good pickup. So apparently we've got 3 more that we can cast? That's what I would assume. But do you think that I'm assuming that's not related to a cooldown. That's instead indicating how many things we can summon at one time. So given that there are 3 triangles, we can probably summon or conjure, whatever word I want to use, 3 tables at once. Alright, I'm happy with that. So I guess we can just climb on top of this. Yep, there's 1, 2, 3. Very good. I didn't want to erase all because I still wanted to use this. Can I stack them? Even if I could, I wouldn't be able to get on top of it. It would be too high, would it not? Oh, I see. You create almost like a set of stairs. Okay. It's actually quite involved for the very first puzzle. And then we just need to hold ZR to erase them all, do we not? Okay. That's an interesting animation. Looked like... I wasn't expecting it to be that involved, but anyway. Cool. How do we break this stuff? Can we swing at things? Oh, we want to learn. Very well. ZR to learn. I've now learnt box. You learnt the wooden box echo. Zelda, you can see echoes you've learnt by holding down left. Oh, sorry, right. I don't actually know my left from right. That's very good. From there, I don't know if I'm coming or going, if I'm up or down, or anything for that matter. From there, you can select 1 with R, and then release right to swap out to the next selection. Well, that's very comfortable. That sounds pretty reasonable. There you go. In terms of how that feels to interact with, that's great. I'm happy with that. I'm assuming we want to now select the box, given that's what we've just acquired. So we've got the classic sneak around the guards. I'm happy to see that make a return. I knew that was a bit tight. Oh, yeah, he's just going to follow me until he finds me. The thing with these sneak around the guard minigames is that I'm very, what's the word, reckless. I am reckless with them. How did you manage to get out? Well, I'll tell you what I'm not going to do. I'm certainly not going to lock the jail cell to my right. That will remain unlocked and open. Alright, well that was my fault for being reckless and needlessly aggressive. I just find it more fun to do it that way. Okay. Back up through here. Now, if I change areas, yes, what was previously in that area automatically is dispelled, and then there you have it. Continuing with table, I guess. Not there. Obviously, the positioning of your character is important, otherwise you're going to conjure it inside something. That's certainly not what we want. Alright. Then erase what we've conjured. Should be safe to just follow behind this guard. They're not turning around at any point, so... that should be fine, but we also don't want to go too quick and then end up walking straight into the line of sight of a guard. These guys are talking about something, but I don't trust them for even a moment. So the other day I broke a pot to test a theory, and General Wright came running. What are you, an early scientist? I'm sure he gave you an earful about it. Actually, no. I threw the pot kind of far, and he ran to see where he heard it break. Ha! General Wright is a simple man. Could have said simpleton, but maybe that's a little bit aggressive. I'm guessing I can just get around them because they're distracted, yeah. We've got a ladder. I don't know why they've got a ladder up here. I suppose to access this stuff in storage. Go around. So, I don't know if there's anyone we want to distract right now, because, I mean, that conversation could be a hint as to a strategy we could employ. But, for the moment, I suspect that we might want to... Can I lift and then place? Let's lift and place, because right now I don't think I need to actually go throwing it around. So, you can see this guy is looking to his left and to his right, back and forth. So what we'll do is lift a pot. No, how dare you? What are you playing at, sir? No. Oh, he catches up to you eventually, doesn't he? Very good. Well, I wasn't expecting him to be able to see me at that angle, I have to be honest. They've been very charitable, and they have allowed me to return to this position, which is very good of them. Because there is not much distance between him and the pathway behind him on his right side, I'm going to throw it this way. Have him check that out. Then go around. Okay, that wasn't even a pathway behind him anyway. That was going into a dead end, so that was fine. Look, I'm enjoying this so far. It doesn't really feel like a departure from traditional Zelda. It's just added new features, I guess you could say. That's how it feels for now, but this is, quite honestly, the very beginning, so... Who knows, I may feel differently about it as I go on, but... At the moment, it's feeling good. Okay, if you end up conjuring too many of them, then the previous, like the oldest one that you have disappears in order to accommodate the newest one that you've summoned, which does make sense. So I probably don't have to be quite as manual as I am being with removing all of the other ones before conjuring new ones. Princess, I'm so glad you're safe. You're not hurt, are you? You little criminal, I'm going to beat you with my stick. I can't even imagine what His Majesty is thinking. Claiming that you created that rift, it's preposterous. What? The king, general, and minister are all imposters? And your friend Tri made you a Tri-Rod, was it? I see. I haven't the faintest idea what you're prating about. I think you might have some sort of fantasy going on in your head. But I suppose this is a world of fantasy, so probably makes what's just been told to her a little more believable. Zelda can make use of the rod's power. Ah, but can Impa see Tri? No, she cannot. Where might Tri be now? You're all here on your own. You're here all on your own? Anyway. Only we can see Tri, and for the moment it remains a mystery as to why. I think you're the only one who can see me, Zelda. Interesting. The world is truly a mysterious place. Well, come what may, I will always support you, Princess, no matter what mysteries unfold. We'd better not dally. The Phone King is... the Phony King, not the Phone King. He's not the king of mobile handsets. He is the false king, yeah. Anyway, the Phony King is speaking of executing you. We need not leave, and quickly. We need not leave? She must have said something else. Occasionally I will misread things, sorry. You'll stand out in your current attire, so I've brought something for you to change into. Oh, what is that blue fabric sticking out from your pocket there? I see, it's the cloak the swordsman was wearing. The size seems workable. It will do a fine job of shrouding you. King Nokia Hyrule, yeah, very good. Excellent. Quickly now, before we're spotted. Oh, okay. I was expecting to immediately be able to interact with a menu, but I was not given that opportunity. You got a disguise. Okay. So I suppose for modesty's sake we had to hide ourselves, secrete ourselves behind the statue, and then disrobe. I mean, maybe there was disrobing involved, which is... I'm not going to say that's excessive, because in the end it might be a little extreme to have her robes plus a second layer of clothing. You probably wouldn't be very maneuverable that way. Very mobile. It's light and flowy and conceals your identity nicely. It smells like a musty dresser. Oh, that's really appealing. Spin around quickly by pressing R. What, like a, you know, the thing a dainty feminine girl would do, like twirl around to show the new thing she's wearing? Is that what you mean by spin around with R? You should be able to head along now without worry. Oh, you're not going to come with me? Damn. I wanted an elderly sidekick. Apparently I'm in a peasant dress now. Yeah, exactly. It seems we have company. Leave this to me. What are you going to do? Lecture them? I am extremely old. What are you going to do? Spear me? You're going to impale me on the end of that? I'll have you know I am a trusted advisor, etc., etc. Lady Impa, who's that over there? It isn't the princess, is it? If it is, you must stand aside this instant. Stand aside, No, I don't believe I'll be doing that. Jesus, here we go. Zelda's reaction is entirely warranted. Here, princess, take this with you. I know I may be elderly, but I'm still badass. You received a log. I mean, she wasn't just, she didn't just whip out her stick and smack him around. She was literally teleporting and warping all over the place. This log was given to you by Impa. There is a folded map inside. There you go. There's an indication of the overworld, and it looks pretty substantial, like what I would expect and hope for. Make your way to the house marked with that indicator. I guess the gold indicator. Looks rather reminiscent of what you'd see in, say, Breath of the Wild. Tell them Impa sent you. They'll surely help you. She has got the moves. This way. Oh, that was the guards saying that. I mean, you could tell because they didn't have names. Guards don't deserve names, you see. Ahead, you'll find a shortcut that leads out of the castle. Use it to make your escape. Hurry now, princess. We will see each other later. Seeing what time it is. Yeah, I will have to not just wrap up this particular recording soon. I will have to, well, this particular part of the series, I will have to wrap up the live stream as well. But anyway, let's learn this first. This is important. You learned the decorative shrub Echo. Okay, that's extremely specific. It could have been the indoor plant Echo. It could have been the, well, could have been a lot of things, but instead they've gone with indoor shrub. Which I'm assuming can be used as a weight. Oh, it's very obvious what needs to be done here. I really should engage my brain. Alright, so we've got a Hyrule Castle pot now, and decorative shrub. We can drop one here, and another one here. Oh god, well, ideally in a straight line. Can I move it? Well, if I can't grip and pull it, then that's a little annoying. Maybe later we can do that. Oh, have to jump. I'm glad that, very logically, A is your action for dropping off the ladder. Whoever has stacked these beds, quite frankly, is engaging in a truly unseemly activity. I mean, why would you do something like that? ZR to learn, sorry. That's right. That's why they said twirl. I mean, that when I said, you know, twirling around on the spot to show the new thing that you've put on, that's definitely what they were going for with the R to spin on the spot. You learned the old bed Echo. There you go. I think it's an attack, is it not? I'm not sure. But I believe that's what they were going for anyway. Can I open this up? No, probably not. Are you suggesting that I can just stack the beds in some way? Possibly. Can I jump up onto that? Not yet. So what I'll do is potentially... I suspect there's two options. I can either use this as the start of a ladder of sorts, or I could go from here. There could actually only be one correct option, but we'll see. No, not that. Well, perhaps yes, that is what we want. And remember, we won't have to actually dispel it manually. What should I do? Shrub and then something else? 2 shrubs? This might not work. I'll figure it out, but I could potentially use wooden boxes as well, but I think the shrubs are taller. We did just learn old bed, so maybe old bed can be used for something. Maybe an old bed can be placed on top of that. No, even then, I can't jump onto it right now. Yeah, do you know what I'm thinking? Oh, don't rest, for goodness sake. This is not the time, Zelda. Show some restraint. So what I'm guessing we can do is actually use the bed as like a stepping stone. You can just position the bed on the edge of this one, and I ask you to desist at once, Zelda. Yeah, so there you have it. Obviously, it defies gravity in every way, but it's not a realistic game. It's, you know, do not let your imagination hold you back, is the advice. And R is indeed an attack. Very good. And you've got good mobility with it too, look at that. That's very nice. Got our first rupee. How refreshing to have a bloody rupee. I mean, they didn't completely depart. There wasn't a strong departure from rupees in Breath of the Wild, but they didn't feature quite prominently enough, in my opinion. I will find a point to finish, but I feel like this isn't a good stopping point just yet. Potentially, I can save the game and then quit. Maybe I'll do it here. I'm just finding the right spot to stop. We can see we've got a very similar breath meter to what we would have for like a stamina wheel in Breath of the Wild. I probably shouldn't have dropped down here right now, but that's fine. Just do this. Can we save the game? I suspect we can. Save. Royal Family Shortcut is the location we're in now, recording on the 9th of April 2025. Got all the details we want there. We've got a difficulty selector. Well, I'm just doing normal because I needn't challenge myself too much. At least not for my first time. Play tips. That's nice of them to... Oh, I see. It's not just tips. It's actually giving you a record of the information that has been shown on the screen. That's good. And Amiibo. I forgot they still did those. Or rather, it would be more accurate to say, I didn't know they still did Amiibos, but apparently they do. Anyway... That's it for this live stream. I hope you all enjoyed, and this is also the end of part 2. I'll see you all in part 3, where we continue to exit the castle. Impressions so far, very positive. Yeah, very positive. I've got absolutely nothing to complain about. I'm now largely used to the way the game looks, and it's comfortable and enjoyable to play. So, this bodes well for the future. We'll see how we go. I thank you all for joining me for this, and I shall bid you farewell for now.